Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Talk About It 803. We are here today, guys, with the beautiful Rae Williams in the building. Rae, thank you for coming. How are you?
Course, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm glad I got a chance to catch up with you. I know you've been so busy, you've been traveling, you've been singing. What's going on with you? What's going on?
A little bit of everything. Yesterday and the day before, of course, was jam-packed with stuff. Photo shoots, video shoots, because outside of my personally being an artist, I have my own band. So we're branding for that, and getting the stuff out there. So we were recording the video shoots, and stuff in the studio. We're writing. I'm setting up for a debut show that's coming out in June.
Wow.
I just movement. That's
Move.
it.
You got to keep moving, right? Consistency
Movement.
is
Gotta
the
keep
key.
moving.
That's it. That is it. So I see that you have auditions coming up, different things like that. What are you auditioning for?
Several different things. So in March I'm doing the Taste of Black Charleston.
Mm.
Uh, and so I wanted to bring on some background singers for that. But my debut show, which is probably the biggest that I have coming up, um, which is in June the 30th at
Okay.
6:30. So it's 6:30. I'm auditioning singers for that. Typically, when I pull on singers, I just kind of, call or text a couple friends and be like, hey, can you come sing with me or whatever?
Right.
And I usually get people that are musically inclined and we don't have to have rehearsals and stuff like that. But then I keep my set list really, really simple.
Right.
And it's almost like how they do in church, like a call and response,
There you go.
type thing. But because my set list for my debut show is meticulous, to say
Mm.
the least,
Mm.
my background vocals have to be sharp.
Right.
And so I brought somebody that's going to work with all of the vocals, so I don't have to work on that, because typically I teach parts and all that other stuff. I want to just focus on being the artist, let somebody else handle the background team, let production handle that, like the stage people do that, and everybody in
Right.
their respective parts.
There you
I
go.
don't have to be stressed out.
Mm-mm. At all.
Rated.
At all. What got you into doing music? What got you started? What inspired you?
Mm. The funny thing is, I hear people ask this question all the time. What
Hmm.
got you started? I think for some of us, we were born into it. I come from a family of singers. My mom, her sisters, they had a group coming up. My grandfather was in a group coming up, and so I come from generation of music enthusiasts and music lovers. And so, because that's all that's ever been around me, it's just what I
Right.
gravitated to. And I just happened to do it well, well
Yes.
enough to get paid.
Yes.
So,
Because actually, do you remember we used to sing together back in the day?
oh, I remember. I remember tonight. I was trying at that point to be a tenor, and nobody would let me because I'm a flat
Right,
soprano.
right.
But I remember, I recall very
Oh,
well.
beautiful times, man. I remember those days. So when you out performing on the stage, where is your mind? Like, is this what does it do for you when you're out there performing for the people?
It depends. If I'm being really, really honest, in this last year,
Hmm.
my music has been a way of escape in the last year.
Gotcha.
Because of the grieving process being what it was. I just lost my grandmother in February. I took on my very first live performance
Mhm.
as a secular artist in March.
Okay.
And so I just kind of did it as a way of having something to do, something to kind of help me, cope with what was going on. And I had no idea it
Absolutely.
was going to take the way that it did, but I was grateful for it
Right.
because, I mean, I wasn't so completely consumed with grief, and I had something to do. But there's been other times where music is always an escape, and I'm gonna just say that I want to be really transparent about that.
Yes.
Prior to that, I had been in a 20-year not happy marriage.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so singing on choirs and having groups and all of this other stuff was a way to escape home,
Right.
escape reality.
Right.
You know what I mean? And have doing, and everybody knows that music will change your mood,
Yes, it will.
and completely, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so even if I was having a bad day and I had a gig that evening that we had to sing for or whatever, I was able to shift realities
Mm-hmm.
and live a life outside, you know what I mean? That
Right.
wasn't necessarily the reality that I was living on the inside.
Mm.
And it's just always been an escape for me. On stage, whew, my mind is reeling constantly.
Go on. Yeah.
Constantly, and I have to tell you that a lot of times I'm on an edible to try to balance it
Right.
out.
Right.
Um, wise, I can be on stage singing, but my mind, you know what I'm saying, like my eyes is focused on the back door, or you know what I'm saying, I have to keep an eye on where the exits are at in case
Right.
something happens,
Right.
and I have to keep eyes on somebody that's moving a little shifty or had one drink too many,
Got
and it's a whole lot going on. So you have to
right.
have something that's going to create some level of balance. Edibles do it for me.
Yes. Yes.
Some people rely on alcohol or whatever. I don't know what alcohol is going to do to me, so I kind of steer clear to that.
Absolutely.
Um, and just get up there and have a good time. My focus always is to have a good time. It's my prayer, God,
Right.
that not only do I have a good time when I'm on stage, but that the people that come out to hear me, that they have a good time and they're able to escape whatever reality they have going on outside the doors. Because you have no idea.
You
I've
have
been on
no,
both ends.
yes,
You
you
have
have no idea. No idea. Woo, my goodness. So going from there, and I'm sorry to hear about your grandmother and all the passings that's been going on. I'm sorry to hear about that. So my deepest condolences to you and your
Thank
family.
you.
If there was anybody in the future, uh, do you look to perform with anybody or collab with anybody in the future? Let me just say it like
Hell yeah. Let me tell you, any artist that's out here singing and they are not saying that they want to have a time and space where they can share with somebody that's on a mainstream level is a damn liar.
that. Okay.
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 I want wholeheartedly to be on the stage singing and her come out with her guitar, baby. She gave me life during the Super Bowl,
The
and she
Super Bowl.
just I don't,
Yes.
there's some presence about it. It's just like,
Yes.
I
Beautiful.
want that. Of course, you have other people, Jasmine Sullivan,
Mm.
Brandy. I
Yes.
would sing. I would drop everything that I'm doing and sing background for Brandy any day.
What?
Any day.
Wow.
Does it
Wow.
for me.
That's
Any day.
amazing. So if they watch this one day, we don't know. They're gonna hear it. They're like, okay, let's get it. Let's get it. So if you got put to that test, are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready. Ready.
I know that's
I'm ready. Ready. Bag is packed. It's in the corner.
ready.
Ready.
Oh, that's right. I love it. I love to hear it. If you could open up a show for any artist, who would it be?
I would like to open up a show for Jill Scott.
Mm, 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 mm.
Jill
Give me
Scott.
a good.
And my biggest musical inspiration is somebody that nobody would even think. My favorite artist of all time is India Ari.
Yes, I love her.
And whew, she just, you know what I mean? She's not one of the artists that everybody, you know what I'm saying, screams for and everything, but the message in her music has always been something that has centered me,
Absolutely.
grounded, you know what I'm saying, as a woman, never mind an artist, just as a woman. And she just happens to relay it beautifully.
What's one of your
You know
favorite
what I
songs?
mean? Like not,
What's one of your favorite songs from
my
her?
one of my favorite songs by her is called Beautiful Surprise.
Mm, mm,
It
mm.
hits home.
Yes, it does.
And I'll tell you why. So the lyrics of her song is, yesterday I didn't know you, and today you're one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. And
Mm-hmm.
so, you know what I'm saying, because my story is coming out of a tumultuous 20-year marriage,
Right.
going through several years of trying to find my grounding and dating, which was
Right.
do not recommend. 10 out of 10, I do not recommend. um and then completely giving up, like just saying like, okay, so the love thing is not gonna happen to me. It's just apparently just not in the cards for my
Right.
life. And
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Right.
cool. And my husband now, I love him, and he's a beautiful man.
Yeah.
And a lot of people gravitate toward him because he's musical. You know, he's a jazz artist, he's a saxophonist, and everybody flocks to who his, stage persona is. But he's such a beautiful person.
Right. Oh,
Outside, you know what I mean? Such like an absolute beautiful, amazing, calm force in my life. And it was something that was so needed,
yes,
and so necessary, but I didn't know, you know what I'm saying, that would ever take place. And so as it was happening, I was just like, this ain't real. It can't be, like this is, I'm not living a romance novel, you know what I mean? This ain't Lifetime, this ain't TV, you know what I'm saying? Like this is my real life. And so I was always looking, because of, all of the experiences that I've had, I was always looking like there's a flaw somewhere, and I'm not sure where.
Right.
But I know it comes out, it's going to take my legs from underneath me. And it hadn't happened. And I'm not saying he's not perfect. He's definitely not perfect, but he was such a beautiful surprise.
Wow. Ain't that something?
My husband was supposed to be a one-night stand girl.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I didn't even live here any longer. I moved away.
Right.
To South Carolina. Did me dirty. You know what I mean?
Right.
The divorce, the thing. I moved away, and I just happened to come back to Charleston for a weekend. I was here for a funeral. Can't remember who passed because it's been a few years that particular time. And I'd gone out with, some friends and a couple of cousins, and everybody was talking about all of their stories, and they experienced this, and that they had just come from a week in Cancun, and everybody had all these stories, and I didn't have any stories. I had, outside of having two absolutely beautiful children from, my previous marriage, I didn't have any good stories to tell.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any exciting stories either. You know what I mean? And so I was like, I need me a story. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to go out tomorrow to the Blue Note. And I was asked to sing because they had, just opened up. So I had asked to sing on the lineup, and I went in and I sang, and I was actually supposed to be on a date with someone else that day.
Okay.
And so I met that guy at the bar. He bored me to tears, and I'm talking about in 0.2 minutes. Okay. Just instantly. And I was like, sir, you're dismissed. I'm not dealing with it. Like, you're literally wasting my time. Can't do it. Found me a seat in the back of the room, had me a couple of drinks, and I was just going to sit there and chill. But I already made up in my mind, I'm going to find me somebody tonight. And I'm going to rock his world, and then I'm going to get on a plane tomorrow, and I'm going to go back home. I'm never going to speak to him again.
Okay.
It's been 5 It's been 5 years. I'm now back in South Carolina. And happily married to my one-night stand.
Look at that. Look at that. Your beautiful surprise.
Oh yeah.
Your beautiful surprise.
It
beautiful. That's beautiful. When you're performing or you're getting ready to perform, how do you prepare yourself when you're about to hit that stage?
A couple of hours leading up to it, I sit in a very quiet place. No music, no TV, no nothing. And that's really just a way of me to kind of center my thoughts. Every time I come out, it's a different experience. The crowd is, you don't know who you're going to come in contact with. And I'm an empath. So I can prepare my mind to be able to do one thing. I have a whole set list, whatever, and I'll feel a weight or a heaviness or a pull from somewhere, and I have to shift to that. And once upon a time, they used to scare me, and I would run away. But now I know how critical it is to be able to feel what other people are feeling, and to be able to speak or sing directly to that thing. And funny thing is, I didn't realize it, but now I know that it is ministry, and it is the ministry that I feel that God has given to me, and it's outside of the four walls of the church, which is where we came up.
Right.
So because we came out of, holiness churches and all this other stuff, they made you think and feel that the stage that God was preparing you for was right here, four walls of the church, and you're supposed to sing, and you're supposed to lead the choir, this, that, and the other, and this is what God has for you. But the truth of the matter is, those of us that really, really need, you know what I'm saying, something to pull them up from where they aren't in the four walls of the church. They're not coming to church.
Right.
You know what I mean? But who's going to go out and speak to, minister to, sing to those people if all of us are at the church?
Right.
And so I have accepted what my assignment is, and this is the way that I use the gift that God gave to me.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. I love it. Can it get a little frustrating sometimes when you're about to hit the stage, or if you're on stage and somebody's off key, or the note, or the the drummer won't stay up, the guitarist won't stay up? Does it get a little frustrating sometimes? And how you handle
Absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. Okay. So I am notorious at this point. My team laughs about it all the time. I'm notorious for firing a drummer.
Oh my gosh.
Drummer to me is like your heartbeat. If your rhythm is off, everything is off.
Right.
My flow is off. And it'll shift me somewhere else. And so you got one time, baby, one time on my stage to be off in that regard, and you will never step foot on another stage that I have to sing for. Again, never. I can't take it. I can't. It throws me off way too bad. As far as like, background singers and stuff like that, if they go slightly off because I'm a singer, I can step back, give you your note without the audience knowing what I'm doing.
Oh, wow.
I've learned to engage and flow in that regard. So that doesn't agitate me as bad.
Right.
Just because I've learned how to correct it. But if my band is off, because to me, everything is about feeling. Like I have to feel good about, what it is that I'm doing. If I don't feel good and there's an uneasiness on the stage, it relays to the crowd.
Right. Oh.
It's not a real flow, and it just kind of feel like we just doing it just to do it. I hate that. I don't like it. I've sessions early, like, okay, well, y'all acting like y'all don't want to be here. Clearly you don't want to be paid, so you can get the hell off my stage.
Right.
And it is what it is. And I'm a female having to engage in that regard. And so a lot of the times I come across aggressive or bitchy.
Right.
But like any job, you know what I mean? There are expectations. And if you don't meet those expectations, ain't no need looking for pay. They're not going to keep you hired on a job for you to just show up for whenever you get ready, however you get ready. You know what I'm saying? Don't perform to your best ability. Don't meet any of the criteria that's being asked, and still be looking for a paycheck at the end of it, because that's not life. That's not reality.
No.
And I got to work for my money, and baby, you got to work for yours.
That's it.
It's really
that. Hello. And I asked that
if I don't come to a space, they won't bring me to come back into that particular venue. And understood. And so a lot of times, venues will let you know what it is that they're looking for. Not all venues are clearly. I can tell you that Black culture and white culture, day and night.
Right.
Day and night. You know what I mean? If I have to sing for a cultured event, a Black event, saying something like that, I know that my set lists have to be different. The choice of songs that I choose have to be different. Almost got to sing harder. I got to pull out all the stops. I got to do all of the runs. I got to show a little bit of cleavage, because the men got to have something to be entertained as well. I'm going to have to shake my ass a little bit. There's a whole lot more that I have to do to pander to that particular audience, because the cultures are different and the expectations are different. White people come out, and the minute they step out their car, they ready to party. They already half drunk.
Right.
You can kind of get away almost, with anything. Sound all right to them. I can get up there and sing the damn Itsy Bitsy Spider, and they be like, "Oh my God,
they just
the best thing ever."
Yeah.
Black people be like, "You tried it. I know I ain't come out of my, and this is what you're doing. I need you to bring it." Two completely different cultures. And so you just, like I said, if I gotta work, you gotta work.
You're right. Yes. I went back to ask that question because of I saw a video, a little snippet of you singing, because I always follow you and I'm watching, and you turned around to the drummer or the guitarist. I don't know who you turned around to, but you was like, and they got right back on. No, so quick. I was like, okay, yes. Yeah. But y'all all just, nobody would have really paid attention if they, didn't know.
Right. If you know me, I cannot hide my facial expression.
Right. Mm.
I cannot mask my real emotions. I've
Mm-hmm.
tried. It doesn't work. I can't do it. If I get agitated, you'll know. You'll
Absolutely.
know. If at any point I ever turn my back to the audience and I'm turning around, my band is getting it.
Right. Ooh,
And it ain't nothing, it ain't nothing nice. You know what I
mm,
mean?
mm, mm,
And people, sometimes you don't know what's going on in their lives as well. You don't
mm.
know what's going on in well. And so sometimes I have to be like, yo, lock in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they
Yeah.
could have had, a hell of a day. They
Mm.
gone through, relationship issues. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's been a time or two where we've had to come out and perform because it was too late to cancel. And one of us just had a death in the family that day, really close to.
Mm.
The day my grandmother passed, I had a gig that night.
Wow. How
And
did
I
that
was so heavy.
go?
I was grateful that I have the team that I have because they took the majority of the weight off of me. I
Mm-hmm.
would sing a little bit and I would step back and they would play because they knew, I'm saying, my mind wasn't
Right.
necessarily,
Right.
there. And it just happened to be one of the kind of venues where it's mostly about the music than it is about the singer. So I was grateful that particular evening, but it was like I said, it was too late for me to cancel.
Right.
And so I still, come out and work because that's what it is. Everybody thinks that it's lights, camera, action, it's fun, it's whatever, it's work.
Yes.
And I couldn't get to work, and so I still had to come out, and I was so heavy.
Mm.
I was so heavy. But also too, if you know my grandmother, she was never the most emotional
No.
person ever. And I knew that if she knew that I was falling apart, she would have looked over her shoulder like,
You better get it together.
you better get it together. And for those reasons, I had to get it together. I had to also, I'm saying, sing for her funeral. I was the only one that sang for her funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I would be able to.
Right.
Literally the whole thing in the world that I had to do, I had to take an edible in order to even get through it.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
it was that. So, I do understand that life is gonna life.
Oh.
And there's gonna be times when you don't feel it, but it's a job, and you still have
Mm-hmm.
to show up, and you still have to perform, and
Yes.
you have to do all things. And in those particular cases, it's good that you have other people that know
Mm-hmm.
what all is going on, and they're willing to be like, all right, well, you step back,
Right.
and I'll do most of the work. You know what I
Right.
mean? And every
Absolutely.
now and then I'll tap you, and you hum a couple things here and there, and give us a couple of oohs and ahs, but we'll take the majority of the work.
Right.
I'm grateful for that.
Oh man.
But it's the same thing with them too. Like, I know you had one hell of a day, and
Right.
so be in this one and that one. We're gonna do the majority of it. Just sit back, sit in the cut, and do what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can lock in, lock in. If you don't tell me that something is going on, and you
Mm-hmm.
just seem off on your ass,
Mm.
because
Mm-mm-mm.
I need to lock in. We had to work. If you couldn't show up to work, call in sick. Then do something.
Girl.
If you don't
Girl.
let me know, then I'm expected to meet the criteria.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
fortunately, the audience is privy to seeing some, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that type.
what they
I
know.
posted a clip actually a couple of weeks ago, and
Uh-huh.
I in the subtitle to it, and I was like, I apologize, because there was actually a moment where I was fussing at someone, and I think it was probably like the sound engineer or something like that. So you'll see me, I'm trying to give him the thumbs up, like, I'm good, or fix this or whatever. Then after a while, I'm like, and I was on stage, face forward, the crowd is looking, everything, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you guys, but this is life.
Right. It's
That
the real
life.
deal.
This is all these things in real time.
Yes. It's the real deal.
It's not always smooth.
Nope.
It's not always pretty,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not always easy.
Right. Right.
So,
Keep it real.
and I'm gonna be me. Be me. I don't take on additional personalities and all of this other stuff. What you see is what you get with me. I don't change. It don't make a difference what genre of music I'm playing in, what venue I'm playing in, what event that I'm playing for, whether it be black folk, white folk, whatever. I'm gonna be who I am. And if you don't like it, don't call me back. I'm good with that.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
I get a couple nights a week. This is how I get paid. Like one won't kill me, and I'm not gonna not eat because you don't want to bring me to the table.
That's
That's not
it.
gonna happen.
That's it.
It's whatever.
See, I love it. I love it. Where can people find you, Rae? Where can they get in
Said,
contact with you?
well, okay. So my Facebook page is private, but I do have a music page, and it's under Outrageous Music, and it'll follow by Rae Estelle. So that's my music page on Facebook. You can follow me, on Instagram. The handle is 50 Shades of Rae.
Mhm.
And I'll let you know how to spell it because it's spelled out like that with the underscores in between. And then I have a band as well, and we have our own pages as well, and it's The Hypnotic Band, all one word, on both Facebook and Insta.
Good. And I'll link that below for everybody to see. And if y'all want to book her, get in contact with Rae. Rae, thank you so very much. I know it's been a lot. I just had to get you in here. I was like, wait a minute, no, I gotta squeeze you in. So I appreciate
And
you so much. I do. I do. And I can't wait to
anytime,
sit in one of your sessions. I can't wait.
I'm gonna need you to be there for the debut. So here's the thing about my debut, and I need you to know and everybody else to know.
Gotcha.
When I first said I wanted to start singing, I literally just started singing.
Hmm.
Um, what happened is my husband, because he's a full-time musician, he
Hmm.
had, a couple of residencies, and he was like, you guys, my fiance is in the audience. I'm gonna get her to come up and sing a song. And from that one thing, there were 4 people that came to me later on that evening, like, do you do weddings? Will
Wow.
you do this? Will you do that? And I literally took on 5 bookings that evening. I
Wow.
sung one song, Tennessee Whiskey.
Mm.
And from that point on, I literally just started working.
Mm.
Calendar just started filling up. And I never introduced myself to anyone as an artist. So everybody that knew of me singing knew that I sung in church. I was a praise and worship leader, the choir, like that
Mhm.
type of stuff. And so now I'm in a completely different world. I don't sing gospel as much, but I'm a secular artist. But I never introduced myself to anyone. So this debut show is my introduction, and
Wow.
everything that fully encompasses who I am and what music means to me, the styles of music that have inspired me through the years, um, or I gravitate mostly to, is what my debut show was going to be about. So I want everybody to come out because it's going to be all 50 Shades of Rae
Mm.
one night.
Ooh, I will be there. Yes. That's gonna be beautiful. That's gonna be real
I
beautiful. So you got to keep us posted so I can post,
will
repost, all that, share it, everything. Really. Thank you,
will
Ray.
do.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really
Proud to
appreciate.
be fit with our faces. That's important.
Yes.
That's really really important.
Oh,
So yeah,
it's
I'll let
beautiful.
you know.
Thank you. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. Please go follow Rae. I'm going to link all her contact information at the bottom where you can go and get in contact with her, follow her, support her. Guys, thank you. Let's talk about it 803. Talk soon.